Good morning, guys. Good morning. How y'all doing? This is Darryl Lee's Lawn Care and Services. Oh, gotta get that off my mouth. Just had a little breakfast. How y'all doing? Man, the season is winding down a little bit. I got this is what, September. Still got October. Still got it a month, and I get like the first 2 weeks in November where I'm still running strong, and then after that it kind of dies off. But yeah, guys, how y'all doing, man? I still got that breakfast on me. Hope y'all doing good. Man, I'm loving this weather. Like yesterday, I worked yesterday, and it was 90. It started out 93 degrees, and it dropped all the way down to 84 degrees. Man, I was like, oh my God, where has this been? And then today, starting out this morning, it's 68 degrees, man. That's nice. I can cut all day. And 60s and 70s, I can cut all day in that type of weather. This type of weather, man. Like, I can start off in the morning and just keep cutting till darkness falls upon me. And I love this. I mean, I don't know how you guys are doing out there, and I know a lot of people probably unhappy, probably happy. I'm happy because I'm always happy when the season's coming to a close. You know, I got some fence work lined up, so I got some projects I got to do. You know, these expensive fence jobs. You know, I'm looking at another $3-4 a piece on these jobs. So my winter will be sustained. So I'll be great. You know, and that's kind of what you got to look at. You know, what you're going to be doing, because you're not going to be making that money from the grass cutting. But I mean, for me, like I say, fence work, pressure washing, you know, stuff like that. You can do stuff like that and really get away with, you know, bringing in some extra income during the winter months. And then it gives you time to refocus, you know, to get your things in order for next season, you know. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm happy about that. I'm excited about next season because, you know, we're going to grow the business. You know, we're going to do what we got to do to get to where we want to be, you know. And I'm looking forward to that. That's exciting to me. You know, it's a new chapter in my business. You know, I never thought that me starting out just helping somebody do this type of work would lead to me actually doing this type of work and me actually running a business. You know, this is my sole income. You know, this business. You know, this is how I make my money. This is how I pay all my bills. This is how I pay for everything that I have. You know, right here, this business right here. And, you know, and it has never failed me. You know, even when my job messed up my vacation time and then put my time in, I had no check coming for that particular week when we got back off vacation and all the bills were due. I don't know if I told y'all this story, but this was like way in the beginning of the business, and I only had like a handful of yards at the time, but I had enough of them. I had like 20, something like that. And what it was, my job didn't put my vacation time in properly, and they wanted to you know, cut me an emergency check, and I was going to get that like on the Monday of the following week or something. It was going to be a while before I got it. And I told them, no, don't worry about it. So I went out there in 3 days, man, and made like $1,200. Paid all my bills, went to Applebee's, ate some steak, and had money left over. And at that time, my ex-wife doubted me. She like, you know, we ain't going to make it, this, that, and the third. And I said, I know what I need to do. And you know what I did? I went out there and I got after it. You know, I think I cut like, I want to say 17 yards, 15 to 16 yards in 3 days. And I threw the money on the dresser. I said, that should take care of all the bills. And she looked at me in the eyes like she couldn't believe it. She thought I was a drug dealer. And I threw all that money on the table because back then a lot of my customers paid cash, you know. And when she looked at all that, she was like, oh my God. She said, who did you go out there and hit over the head? I said, I didn't hit nobody over the head. I just went out there and went to work because I knew what I needed to do. You know, and I knew then that was a lesson, and that was a defining day right there In 3 days, I went out there and made $1,200, what would take me 2 weeks to make at a job, and they'd have to take the tax out of that, And if I made $1,200, they would take $300-400 tax out, and I would probably see it'd probably be about $8. The check probably, and that was after 2 week period, So that's what it was, and it's like out of that 8, you got to pay all your bills or pay half your bills, and then the next 8 you got to take and pay the other half of the bills, and hope you have something left over. And so, when you get paid on a 2 week schedule like that, that's what happens. And then, you have to, you're stuck for another 2 weeks waiting for another check. That's why I always worked 2 jobs, because you needed another income. That wasn't enough money. You work one job, it takes care of your primary. You have to work a second job, so that way it gives you gas, gives you a little bit more free, a little bit more leverage, to do some other things. If you need more, want some nice shoes and some clothes or whatever, the second job with the second check, that helps with that, and that's how it was. And then what was happening, I was getting paid from one job on one weekend, and the very next week I was getting paid from the other job. So I was getting a check every week, but it was a 2 week check for each job that I worked on. There was only one time I had a job where I got paid every week, and I loved that job. They closed down because Katrina closed them down. But that was one job that I really, really loved, man. And I probably would have still been there today if Katrina wouldn't have closed them down. Because I really enjoyed that job, what I did. It was warehouse work. We was filling orders and all. And we got paid back then, in the early 90s and all. We still was getting like $12 an hour, $13 an hour to do that. And we got paid every week, And then they had vacation clubs and Christmas clubs where they take out the check. It would run from like October to October, and they take out all the way, and then you get that disbursement like in November, so you can go get all your Christmas stuff, or you get the birthday club, which was April to April, and they get that disbursement in May, where you can go get whatever you need. And that was awesome. I really enjoyed that, because there was a couple of times I did, like, because you can't get it out, and until the time of it is for it to release. And what it does, one time I put myself in a bind. I did $100 every check, we got paid every week. So this was 4 times a month, sometimes 5 times, depending on what it is. So that money was just stacking up, and I couldn't get to it, and I needed it at a lot of times, because your checks usually geared towards your bills. But when you get paid every week, you're spoiled, because you're like, well, I'll just pay it next week, or I'll just pay it next week, because you got the extra check coming in, every week. And so, man, I must have got about, that was the time I got like $2,500 out of them. I had a whole year saved up for that. And I was like, man, that's how you do that. That's how you save that money. I went through I think it was a 52-week rolling year period or whatever it was. And it just, man, that was nice. I took that, I bought all the gifts and all. I had money left over. That was awesome, man. That's what I missed about that job, because they had those things built in if you wanted those options. And what that did, that taught you how to save, because you put money in savings, but you always dip in it. But this particular thing, you could not get in it, unless you got fired or something, and they disperse you early. Then let me get over. Yeah, unless you got fired or let go. Sorry about that. And then they paid you out early that way. But if you didn't get fired or anything like that, and most of the guys that got that job over there, like I did, they stayed there until they retired. Nobody left, because the job was that good of a job, and benefits were very good, during that time. And like I said, they closed down. They lost a lot, got a lot of insurance money to kind of replace a lot of what they had lost, and they decided to just fold up everything and leave, and I couldn't blame them for that. They did what they had, but I had the opportunity to work there for 8 years, man. I really enjoyed that job. That that was probably, to me, that was the best job I had ever had, you know. And it was better than being a manager. And the manager, I made a hell of a lot more money. I worked a hell of a lot more hours too. But that particular job was probably the best job. And the manager job was great too, because I built a team of continuity. So everybody worked together, you know, and we all looked out for each other. And I used to tell them, you know, when I went on vacation, I said, dudes, I said, y'all have to take care of yourselves. I said, do your work. I said, don't get smart with none of these other managers. And you know, if they ask you to do something, go ahead and do it. I said, but then go make sure you go back home, which is your department. You know, don't stay on those tasks for them all. You know, they got people, they need to work through their people. We don't mind helping them out, but they need to do their thing too. They need to work. So it never failed, man. Every time I went on vacation and came back off vacation, somebody got fired. Somebody was always, it never failed, man. Somebody always got fired. And it wasn't one of my guys. It was just somebody throughout the store. My guys would, you know, they would tend to their business and stay out of those other managers' way, because the managers knew that if I was there, that I was going to fight for my guys, and that they knew they just couldn't just push them around, because they would have to deal with me. And they didn't want to deal with me because I spoke my mind too much. And the reason why I spoke my mind too much is because I had a freedom that, regardless of that job, I'm going to make it no matter what. And they didn't care for that too much, but they respected me because of the work that I was able to produce with the people that I had, and they respected that. You know, I got a lot out of my people, you know, because it was a respect, because I would have did the same thing for them. So, you know, they looked out for me and did extra, you know. And we have times where I bring chicken, you know, we'd have meetings, we'd have Popeye's chicken, we'd have cinnamon rolls. At that one of them times, my ex-wife, she baked some, I think she baked some muffins or something she did. And I brought that there, and we had a little meeting, a little sit down. And so, man, it was awesome. It was just an awesome thing. I had created a nice environment for everybody, you know. And so that's what mattered most to me, you know, creating an environment where everybody feels comfortable and they can speak their mind about stuff, what they feel is good, what they feel is bad. And so that's the kind of, you know, continuity we had there, you know, when we worked, you know, for this particular company. And that's why they liked me, because I was honest about a lot of stuff. They might not have liked what I was saying, but they understood, you know, where I was coming from, because they knew that my intentions were good, you know, because I'm looking out for the betterment of the company, you know, and my people. And when everybody is comfortable and happy, we all tend to work better. You know, we all tend to get a lot more done. So, you know, and you have your good days and bad days with your walks and all this. The VPs, they come there for 5 minutes and they can either criticize you or they can compliment you, one or the other. And so, you know, that's kind of what it was then. And, you know, we did good. You know, we made a lot of money for the company. We always was the leading department in that particular store. So that was good, man. And even to this day, you know, I don't work there anymore. A lot of the people I was in there with, you know, a lot of them are store managers today. A lot of them. Like, if I had to guess, a lot of the people that I work with, I'd say about 10 of them, 10 or 11 of them right now are store managers. One of them is a regional vice president, where he works, has a whole region of stores and territory that he covers. So, you know, man, we were doing something special back then, you know. And when I saw the other manager, she's in a totally another area, and I went that way because I wanted to see her, for one, and I had worked a job in that area close to where she was, and I just wanted to pass through just to say hi. And I did that, and I went over there and I hugged her. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "Oh, well, I'm doing great over here, you know." And I said, "How you liking it?" You know, because she had been to like 2 or 3 stores. And then she said, "Oh, I like it, you know, but it's not like what we had, you know, because we had something special, you know, that team we had, you know, from all the other managers, it was just special. And, you know, for us to be able to produce the things that we were able to produce and how everybody became like store managers out of that, that tells you that was a special time. You know, like I said, about 10 or 11 of those people became store managers. You know, there's one in Atlanta that I know of. That's about 4 of them in another area. And then there's the one I went seeing, that's another one, you know, that was, none of them were store managers. They were, a lot of them were regular managers and department supervisors, and now they're store managers. You know, that's a huge jump, you know. And one guy is regional, you know, so he's a regional VP, so he goes to, you know, all the other stores and all. I talk to him regular, you know, when I shop in there or whatever, and I still got his number, you know, because I went work for him at another location, and then I decided that wasn't what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. You know, I didn't want to do that anymore, you know, and I didn't, it takes time to build a team, you know. It's not something that's easy to do. And I just didn't feel like doing that anymore. You know, it takes a lot out. It takes years to get a certain type of continuity, you know, with people and all. And I guess that's probably why I work alone a lot out here, because, you know, I have help come out here, and I pay them well, and they come out and they help me, and I kind of look at their work, and the quality is just not there, you know, like that. And it's kind of hard to critique a grown man or a grown woman, you know. It's because they take criticism, you know, a certain way, and maybe it's just the way that I like the stuff done, because the guy I trained with, he liked it a certain way, and I did it the way he liked it because I was working for him at the time. And then my son, you know, I critique him, but he cuts the way I want him to cut, because that's the way he was taught. And so his quality is there, you know. It's when he does something and I pass through and I look and I'm like, ah, damn, that looks good. You know, he did a really good job. But it's because I taught and trained him since he was, I think my son was like 10 or 11 coming out here with me. And Joshua is 20. I see, that's sad. I got to think about how old my son is. My son's 20. I think he's 20 years old right now. He's 20. He'll be 21 in December. So, you know, and he does it. He's on point. You know, the only problem he have that I told him, he don't catch the cracks all that well, because sometimes he gets into the groove and he don't think about it. I'm like, that's part of your trademark too, man. You catch these cracks. You know, you catch them, you clean them up. You know, because you want that clean appearance. You know, and to get that clean appearance, you got to get them cracks. You know, weed it out. You gotta clean it. You know. You don't just line it up. You clean the cracks. You clean your trenches too. You know, that's how it is. And so, you know, like I said, he can make it because I taught him. I taught him what I know. He knows what to look for. And he sees my work, and that's, you know, he's always amazed by what I do. You know, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, man, would I ever work for somebody again? Probably 99% of the time, no. I'll work for myself. If I don't have a choice, then I'll go work for somebody. But, you know, I really enjoy what I do, you know, and I'm living life comfortably the way I want to live my life. And that's what's most important to me and my family. You know, everybody's taken care of, everything's fine, you know. So, and that's the most important thing to me, to make sure that they have it. And if they don't have it, we're going to get it, you know, we'll find a way, whatever we got to do, you know. And that's pretty much what it is. So that's my 2 cents for today, guys. You know, I wanted to do a video on you know, I didn't want to rant too long, because I know a lot of people probably won't, you know, stay all the way through this video. But I wanted to talk to you guys for a while, and man, enjoy this weather, because I'm really enjoying this weather, man. This weather's nice. We could do this all day, like Cap say, you know, in Avengers. You know, I could do this all day, man, with this weather nice like this. You know, this is a time where you barely drink a lot of water at all, you know, and then you don't even sweat that much. It's just comfortable to work, you know. And I got a day, you know, lined out for me, but, you know, and I'm going to enjoy it. So catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Love you. God bless you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.